Just run straight past it.
I haven't seen anything. I wouldn't watch it again.
Watch it.
I did see the. I seen the stills though of how far the guy. You'll have a bit of rewind, isn't it? I seen the stills of how far he was behind the player, and the player got in front of him, and then it was too late. I didn't actually even know it was an own goal, to be honest, at the time. Obviously, press record.
Evening.
Oh, sorry, good evening.
Mark.
What?
Evening.
Oh, yeah.
We've started recording.
God, what you doing?
Do you want to say hi, everyone?
Not really.
Are you out of your mood yet?
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
These two are very, very miserable tonight.
I'm not. I'm never miserable, to be fair.
I'm fine.
It's definitely miserable. Definitely. Oh, go back to, like, no, I was at last week, well, that's really quiet. If she says, I'm fine. Definitely not fine either. But welcome back, everyone, to the Always Smiling Faces podcast.
Thanks.
We're up to episode 14, or thereabouts now.
Ginola.
Aye, episode Ginola.
James Perch. It's more the fucking standard these days.
Fucking straight into the negativity, innit? Right, so
straight in there.
So where do we start with this one? Since the last podcast we had Ed from Lisa's Flags on.
Well, since the last podcast we had Ed from Lisa's Flag on, some fuckers nicked all the flags.
It's gone from Lisa's Flags to Lisa's Flag. I've only got one left, the poor sons.
What a bunch of bastards.
If you nicked a flag, like,
Can't have anything nice, can you?
Even if it was just a mistake, just bring it back.
And if you were tit and you did pinch one, bring it back.
Aye, bring it back. What are you doing with a flag? Like,
the virgins have got it up in the bedrooms. The mum's given
on the
them
ceiling, threatening it's on the ceiling.
some pins to tack it up.
Do you see the fully grown man? He must have been in his 50s walking out of the ground. Like, what's he doing with that?
Well, I'm hoping that he's taking that home so
him?
that he brings it,
Did you
so
see
he can
him?
bring it back and wave it next week.
I didn't see. I
Or
just
on
saw
Wednesday even.
Oh, I haven't.
Aye, it was a picture on
Is it?
Twitter.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen it. Like, no.
But what I don't understand is the person that's taking that photo of him walking out with a flag. Why didn't he just go, "Excuse me, mate,
Near
That's
bars.
what
see that flag?
Near bars.
Keyboard warrior,
You had a his name
Was
was probably
probably-
and everything, didn't he?
Dave.
Dave, I don't think his
Dave
name was Dave, was
50.
he?
Dave the
With his
Geordie.
address underneath.
He got it for his birthday.
Dad won.
Don't think that was his name.
So,
Probably a virgin.
who? Dave.
Dave.
The flag pincher.
Dave 50. Anybody that's got the name on the back like that.
Although I was speaking with Ed.
I used to have Deka on the back of mine.
Fucking exactly.
Yeah. I didn't like anyone, so I just got Deka on.
Just like yourself.
I didn't like any of them, so. Honestly, I was like, none of them are
Worth
worthy.
being.
None of them are worthy. I just got Deka 7 on the back.
No one was worthy, so you got put your own name on it.
Well, I was probably better than them at the time. I probably was.
Which kit was it?
Well, about 3 or 4 like that. I'm just kidding. No, I can't remember really which one it was. It was a white one.
He's probably still got it on, let's not check.
The white one within the championship.
Was it the white one with the green and black?
No, I think
That
it was
one
white
he
with
wore.
blue one, I think.
It was the championship one, wasn't it?
Might have been,
The white and blue one's the championship one.
White and blue.
Aye, well, the plain white one with the blue things on there, but then we had a blue away kit.
I remember a white and black one.
That was, it might not have been championship one, it might have been the one that were.
We definitely had a white,
Season-
like a
Season
white
the
and
5
green.
one. The Sunday was the season the 5 one, but
White,
the
green
away
and
kit.
black one back in, that was like Adidas one, wasn't it?
Andy Carroll's shirt, that's what I remember that as.
I would have
The
Carol
white
on the
one.
back. I loved Carol. I would have
Well,
Carol.
maybe you don't love him as much as what you love yourself.
I had,
mate.
you know the orange one that we had. Remember that one? I loved
Which
it.
one?
The one everyone like really slag off in the. Oh no, that was
The
the yellow
CC
one.
one.
For. The CC
Yeah,
one.
the CC one.
I had best
Not-
on the
not
back.
anybody
mate.
else.
I had best. Leon Best.
Best.
Because he was mint.
I loved
Stephen
him, mate.
Best.
I absolutely loved him, mate.
You had Stephen Best on the back of your shirt.
No, I didn't. I had Leon Best.
When you
Well, I
had
didn't
it
have
on,
Leon
did
in
you
there.
used to sing, because he's my bestie, he's my bestie.
I really didn't. No. But I did
Probably
think he was
because you would have went like forward in time. It would have been quite fucking mental, that, wouldn't it? In fact, you could have made a movie about it. How would you have got there? If you
I
could
don't
have
know what
gone
you're talking
forward in
about.
time.
You know what he's talking about?
A DeLorean.
DeLorean,
Yeah,
yeah.
good choice.
What are you talking
Good
about?
old flux capacitor.
No? Just shit.
But that Leon
I'm trying
Best,
to put off talking
loved
about the match as long as possible.
I love Leon Best, mate. Do you think he was good?
Everyone like Leon
Hey,
Best.
he was really good, man.
He wasn't really, he was shit, but he scored
Nah.
a few goals for it.
I'm not sure he was really good.
I thought he was really good.
He was
2
a,
goals to score against Fulham.
he was a
Just absolutely
decent championship striker. Could do with one of them at the minute, couldn't we?
Actually, you know, I'm not sure that's our problem at the minute, really, actually.
Do you know what it is? Like, I wish Murphy was still here.
See, I'm so more... See how happy I am. I'm normally the one that's like that.
You have
So-
Murphy.
so-
What?
Hey, calm down,
He does
Jesus.
that
eh?
every week with Smike, he does that.
That's because he attacked me on.
I wish Murphy was still here.
No, see, Murphy was a... he was a good finisher, but he didn't have the legs for to get in position.
I thought you meant someone used to have on the podcast or something.
Daryl Murphy. Daryl Murphy.
Daryl.
I wish Daryl
And he
was
scored 3 goals last season.
Handsome Daz.
He scored that. Was it? Who would he? Was it Ipswich? No, it wasn't Ipswich away. It was an away game. He scored that absolutely belter from the edge of the. Took it on right out to the edge of the box and then sent it back in.
Most of the championships were a massive blur to me. Like
Huddersfield. Is that what it was?
No, the goals against Huddersfield were terrible. They were absolutely awful.
Huddersfield was the one where I lost my bet.
They were awful.
Wasn't it?
Remember, I think he went ahead back the goalkeeper and he didn't get it, then Murphy just ran on and scored.
That's when I lost my bet.
Awful. Well, it was a good game, we won, but...
If I lost my bet, we're already winning, mate.
Oh, because of Gale's last minute?
Aye.
That was funny as well, wasn't it? The keeper...
Oh, that was a good one.
That wasn't funny for me at
It
the time.
was meant that. I think the Murphy's goal, the one I remember the most was we were playing absolutely shit at home against somebody in Cardiff, I can't remember who it was, and he scored an absolute class goal bang on half time. Like he just turned inside and just bent it in the tuck.
Was that a cup game?
No, that was a league game. Definitely a league game.
I can't remember.
And he scored a cracker against, it was a header where Perez bent it with the outside of the foot and he scored a header against Brentford away, I think it was.
I actually seen it, I think it was somebody put on Twitter the other day about the signings. That was one of the things, like, can you tell me that Hossalu's better than Murphy, Manquillo's better than Anita, and...
Definitely not, I didn't like Anita.
What was
Did you not? I like Anita.
Somebody else, who else was selling this summer?
Gouffran,
it wasn't him.
Did we sell Gouffran? He just fuck off.
He went to Santi's Iron Throne, didn't he, for Fenerbahce or whatever it was?
Was it three players anyway that got shot off?
Can we talk about more
about...
about...
Krull.
All right.
Krull was... is Elliot better than Krull?
Can we talk about Gouffran even a bit more? Because it might cheer us up.
Hey, I'd start having back.
Fuck off! To do what?
Give you a bit of stability down the left-hand
do you want his
side.
mate Adora playing as well, do you?
Not really. Well, if it's choice over him and Manquillo,
It's not
quite possibly.
Well,
Let's start from the morning of the game.
That was happy, wasn't it? The morning of the game.
Well, I had a great morning of the game.
Did I?
I had a bottle of Prosecco, I was loving life, I had a lovely breakfast.
He does this every... Deka's got a problem, he does this every morning, don't you?
It was lush. It was
Starts his morning with a bottle of Prosecco. Wearing
nice,
his Newcastle Deka 7
I had a lovely breakfast, bottle of Prosecco, it was lush.
But on the morning we went about 11 o'clock, well 11:30, at Horton Westow Welfare Club. We had 2 full shopping trolleys.
We did.
And we're set up for St James.
Well, they weren't full when we got there. We had to fill them up, didn't we?
I think my mother and Chris's mother did most of it.
Big help the mums.
The mums.
Shout out to the mums.
Mums for life. But I was set off 12 o'clock.
Yes. For just
on our treacherous path towards St James's Park.
Got really hot at one point, didn't it? Like,
it didn't get hot. We just got hot because we were
really in between, wasn't it? Like
two big trolleys.
See, I'm boiling. I'll take my coat off. Shit, I'm freezing. I'll put my coat back on.
Keep it on. Keep it on.
You got about 4?
You got a layer. But the key is breathable materials.
All right.
See, breathable materials.
Right, but if anyone
keeps you warm, but lets the perspire out.
I think everyone probably will know, but if you don't know, we're aim was to raise awareness for NUFC Food Bank, which is based in the West End of Newcastle, which is apparently...
Well, really, the aim was to raise some food for them and take it along, wasn't it?
True, aye.
But get a bit of an awareness, I know doing it. Aye.
And apparently this is the food bank, the most used food bank in the country. So we had 2 full shopping trolleys.
They were very full.
We had even more in the van. There was another 6 bags.
Couldn't fit it all in. Yep.
And we set off, pushed them, which was a struggle at times, to be fair. Like,
it wasn't as hard as
there was a few hills.
I got Chris's ankle at one point. It was not pushing the trolley. I got his ankle. Well, that must have hurt.
Aye, he did. That was funny.
But we were spotted a few times as well.
Spotted a few times. Nearly had a fight on the Phillip bypass. If you're watching,
he would be watching. Bypass, he was a tit, wasn't he?
He was a mackin', wasn't he? Definitely a mackin'.
What a tosser. He was a right wanger, like, wasn't he?
He got out his car, he wanted to fight with.
Right, we're trying to cross the roads at the Heworth Metro. Press the button across. So me and Adam and Connor were on the front trolley.
First trolley
we gans across, and then used to, and Kris tried to cross, and some dickhead decided to try and drive in.
I don't blame him.
Because he went, it's on green, it's on green. I went, well, it might be on green, but we're halfway across the road. You can like wait 2 seconds until you finally actually get into the middle of it.
Like he drove.
What a dickhead!
Past the crossing. Then he said something to us, so obviously we shouted back at him. Next minute he's out of his car ready to fight us. However, it's you versus 7 lads. Yeah, it's not going to end well.
It's going to tin of Heinz soup off his
It
head.
just got to the point of like who could shout "fuck off" the loudest, wasn't it?
It was.
So he was like, "Fuck off." Next one, "Fuck off." Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! It just went on for like ages, didn't it?
It felt like ages on.
Then Conrad turned around, looked like he was going to boot his car. I was like, oh, no, yeah, we go.
He was complaining that it was on green and we were holding him up. And then he's just standing something
Yet if you waited the 2 seconds for to finish crossing the road, he could have carried on with his day quite happily.
He's in the middle of the fella bypass, just causing a fight.
His last had been banging someone else.
He was angry with life.
He had a bad morning, didn't he? He had a bad
really
morning.
bad morning, aye. Driving a girl's car, something you said was quite funny.
I think it was a Renault Clio, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
That was worse than that.
It was a Ford. It wasn't a car, but it was like a Ford something, but it looked like it
It
had
was a
been
tiny
number.
little hairdresser's car like he was driving.
I thought it was a...
God, he was livid though.
But you thought you had seen him in Terrace Bar, didn't you? Well, in Terrace Bar, he got, that's him. It's not
a few drinks deep at that point.
As he had a beard, he went, he's got a beard. He definitely didn't have a beard.
He didn't. He didn't
have a beard.
The bloke in the car had a beard.
Oh, right, sorry.
But the bloke in Terrace he's flipped it out.
Dear me.
But we're made at the ground in 3 hours, 20 minutes.
Don't want to mess the flag up.
Which I thought was quite...
We could have got there quicker.
mate.
Could have got there quicker. We didn't have to keep stopping
What for?
for you and your toilet breaks.
I didn't have a poo at all.
Chatting up horses.
Oh, I haven't had it.
Horses are friends.
Hello.
Newcastle fans have
There's
got
no
a
horse,
lot of
yeah.
making up to do with horses.
You know, us, the A team at the front had to keep waiting for yous to catch up as well.
Aye,
Yeah, better
because
try.
Deka's got a new nickname. Man down.
Man down. Aye. There's a lot of selfies taken that day, wasn't there, Decker?
And he went to the shop to get a drink.
Look at your Facebook
Aye.
page.
You went to the shop to get a drink every 100 yards.
And he had one bottle of Iron Brew.
Look at his Facebook posts every 10 minutes.
Is it shite?
Even he wrote a blog, a vlog, a diary of the day.
Fuck off.
How many selfies did you take that day?
About 2. He was fucking live streaming, man.
200. Aye, as I was pushing the trolley.
Bollocks. You were on your arm, man, with it, man. I seen you.
Yeah, man.
Fucking stand there drawing that, man.
You were missing for a little while though, didn't you?
You did.
I was in the shop with
I'm
him.
with you.
Aye, but
He did.
for good reason, because
Yes, that's
the woman in the shop had asked what we were doing, so I had to explain it to her, and then she gave us some extra tins for the trolley.
Yeah.
And then he shouted to you well before that shop, we're going to stop at this shop. You just didn't. And then we'll come out the shop and we're waving the flags and we're like, we've got something. You just didn't stop.
I was powering
All
up,
he's
man.
doing was complain that we weren't up with you.
was
If you
powering
just
up.
stopped and
You
waited-
only stopped when you tried to tip the trolley over again for the millionth
Oh
time.
my god, that was
dangerous,
it.
wasn't it?
I thought that was it.
Well, that was it.
Yeah, I did as well.
But
We didn't have that problem, Adam, did we?
we're definitely not talking about Man U, no.
But we got there. Everything was
Did
fine.
I? Was good. It was a good
good
laugh,
crack,
wasn't it?
it
It
was
was good
good
laugh.
I enjoyed it.
I liked when we actually got into the city centre. Then people must be looking at going, the Christmas market was on there, so I was walking through with
How
two
funny was
trolleys.
it?
wish we had
Toon
food.
Photography was up the...
It must be in Charles Gray. That's where he must have been.
It was a mid photo, that wasn't it?
Someone replied saying, "Oh, he must be at the top of Gray's monument." I was like, he's definitely not at the top of Gray's
It
monument.
looked to me that he was actually past there and along the road, so I wonder if he was along...
Nah, he's had to be in Charles Gray. Had to be.
You couldn't get that photo from Charles Gray.
Nah,
Well, yeah,
I
he
don't
could.
think
He
so.
could. He's a photographer, man.
No, but it seemed to be coming along the road from where the
It wasn't
Goldsmith's clock is and that. I think he was maybe along that road somewhere up.
The botanist. Could he be in there?
The botanist, the botanist even.
Whatever it's called. Could he
Aye.
have been in there?
You couldn't have got that shot. It's too high and it's looking down onto the monument.
You might have had a drone.
Well, ask.
You might have been in Five Guys. That's on the corner of Northumberland Street, isn't it?
Definitely wasn't in Five Guys. It was too high.
I think he was the other way. You might have been hanging off the Northern Goldsmith clock.
Maybe he actually wasn't.
Who knows? But it was like as if we were being stalked by him.
It was good. Good shot though, wasn't it?
Was?
I wonder what he does for a job.
I don't know.
That's pints in Charles Gray.
Some wifey pulled over and give us
Yeah,
some donation.
there was a few, lots of peeps and encouragement and stuff like that.
Loads.
You
People
nearly lost
stopping
your
to
head.
give
Did it?
donations.
Can't remember that.
The bus wing mirror.
Oh God,
the
aye.
wing mirror.
On the Tyne Bridge.
I
aye.
didn't know. You used
I was like
I was like,
centimetres from hitting you.
Like literally,
Noggin, man.
Yeah, almost died.
You would have died. You would have
Could've lost
actually
you.
died if that had hit you.
That would have made a great selfie. That.
You nearly lost the flag. Just
Yeah,
before
that
the fight.
was. Yeah.
That was in White Mare Pool, that wasn't
That would
it?
have been
No, it
another
was
one.
just
though.
before we had the fight.
Oh, he nearly lost it at White Mare Pool?
I wasn't holding on to it properly, wasn't I? It just kept going. I'm thinking, that's going to come off in a second.
Yeah, fucking Lisa's flag would have had even less flags.
I was going to say that, but I thought, no, it's a bit fucking hard.
But it was a good deal.
It was.
It was good. Good for a good cause as well.
Very
so.
appreciative at the end as well.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Oh, they took millions.
Very humbling, very humbling.
Portrait and everything was brilliant.
Board
Board rates.
Well, I
Like a
felt
French girl.
well, she was there for that long. I felt like she was.
Leonardo popped sit down with his canvas and that and stuff.
Aye. Did you
Seemed
see
like one of your French girls.
Way fucking thing.
But it was a good laugh. Then
And then,
then it went downhill. But it didn't.
to be fair,
Line up.
the game was all right. I thought.
I text you saying fuck's sake with the line up.
Yeah.
So
You
I,
did.
I
But
wasn't.
you always text, right? And I don't get your text till after the game because you're obviously
Probably a good thing.
You get signal.
But I mean,
And
Oh, yeah, I
as
guess.
soon as I
What
get
were
to
you-
St James's Park, I get nothing.
what were
yeah,
you
I
frustrated about with the
Mankey Owen again.
lineup?
Mankey
Yeah,
Owen again.
that would be
So
my.
you wanted
I actually wasn't bothered
done
about
it.
Yosselu because everyone that I was sitting around was just going 10 out about Yosselu. They were absolutely furious. But I wasn't bothered by him. I thought, hey, he's went 2 up front. I wasn't actually that happy we went 2 up front, to be honest. But I wasn't bothered that it was Yosselu. I was disappointed Shelby wasn't in there, to be honest. I really was. But that's just because
Some
I like him a
interesting
lot.
comments today, but we'll get onto that about
I don't know.
Shelby.
I was just really surprised. Lejeune's in again. I didn't like him. So I was surprised he was in. Mankey was in. I didn't like him. And there was no Shelby. And I just thought, oh, bloody hell. You know what I mean? So, but maybe I sent that text and you might have thought, because I said, because of Yosselu, it wasn't him actually. I thought, wasn't bothered by him. I really wasn't bothered 10 minutes in. But
No, it was quite a bright start.
Great start,
We
absolutely great start.
got at them from the start, really, didn't we? Try to get amongst it.
which we've done countless games. I'm in my head thinking if Chelsea's away, Man United's away, they're the most recent.
Taking the lead.
We're taking the lead and we're on the front foot, playing well. You know what I mean? We really are playing well, and then for some reason we just seem to just completely lose it all. Like,
Well, the initial goal that was scored that opened the scoring was a good goal.
Brilliant.
Who was
Do
it?
you know
Was it
what
Gale?
happened?
That was it?
Murphy's pass was.
Murphy's
Was it Murphy
pass
that
was,
put
yeah.
it back into the
cracking
box?
pass.
No man, that was Gale. Murphy
Gale.
played it outside
Murphy
the
played a
football.
lovely
Man.
ball for him.
It was
Yeah,
amazing.
it was lovely.
He bent his run really well, Gale, but he outside the foot, man, just down the line. It was a fantastic pass from
Well, it
Murphy.
was great. Even Gale's pass into the box.
Yeah.
He knew exactly where
Did
Yosselu was
that
going to
pass
be.
make him worth anywhere near 12 million for you?
Well, no, maybe not. But what I have to be honest, I think he's definitely got something.
He's improved.
Oh God, aye.
You heard it here first.
No,
It's only taken
I call a spade a spade.
6-7 weeks.
If someone shit, the shit. If they're Rari, the Raris. And I feel for him because we're so shit as a team that he's playing. He is playing quite well. I mean, he got Player of the Month, didn't he, or whatever it was. Which
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. He was, to be in fairness, to the best of the bad bunch.
Bad bunch.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, picking Player of the Month last month. Fucking hell.
I know,
It's
you-
like picking which STI you want, isn't it?
But it is pretty much like we said, though. Give him there's definitely something there about him. It's just he needs a run of games. He's getting that now. So that's what's that 5 games in a row.
It'll be
he's started
thereabouts.
now?
It'll be thereabouts.
Oh,
I don't think it's that many.
3 or 4.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I think his first one
But
was.
Man United
his
away
first
was
one
his first start.
Man U, wasn't it?
And then it was the home game followed that, didn't it?
Nice, I think.
He probably 4. Well,
Man United was 100% his first start. It was
Yeah,
just
it was.
100%. Because we all said, God, his first start is away at Man United.
Yeah.
It's a tough one for him. You know what I mean?
It'd be about 4.
But what I like about him, he's not scared to get at people. You know what I mean? I like anyone that's willing to run forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising. We haven't got many players that are willing to run forward these days. So
Robert Davis said he was.
nice,
you,
you know?
you could see that he was a bit of a confidence player, and
Aye.
obviously it was quite low after his first few.
when he got hold off, like,
introductions and
it was because he didn't track back. It was twice he didn't. He just gave up.
Nah,
He
that
just-
was
so he
bit of a theme of the day, really, wasn't it?
You look at it all on the pitch, aye.
But he,
But good bright start, and then
I had a good chance to go 2-0 up.
Gale, wasn't it?
Not long afterwards, yeah. It was
Gale.
a
good
good
effort.
chance.
Good effort. Like.
So, like, when I saw that, I thought,
Was that good? Didn't
Yosselu.
keep us save it though?
No, it went past the post. I don't know if he
I
got
think
a
the
finger.
players
in
were
it.
claiming he saved it, but aye.
Yeah.
I think I thought Schmeichel had
But, like, then I thought,
Touch on it.
we're on, like, for a good afternoon here, because we look determined to just keep on pushing and pushing. Then, obviously, the equaliser comes, then it just goes flat, doesn't it? It just seems like horses
Well,
drop.
straight away, and again, we're talking about it, and it's a recurring theme is then the atmosphere. It just
I actually should
the
mention
longer
the
it went off because
was
it was
amazing.
brilliant
I
at the
thought,
start
yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was bang up for it. obviously the flags because of the 125th anniversary. Everybody was waving them around, except me because some fucker had pinched right out of my seat.
The little lad next to me had left his broken one on my seat. He broke his flag, so he swapped it with mine.
Oh, well, I seen some fuckers stand there waving 3. I was like, oh, where'd you get that?
Jesus.
But there was
Sorry, Ed, that was
good start of the game, atmosphere, built lots, everybody shouting, singing and that. And
if that was a game for the players to perform, like, you're not going to top that. Yeah. Not going to top it.
But to be fair, in the start, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Although, probably, give a bit of credit, lest they weren't really on their game from the start, but you can only play what's put in front of you.
I felt that we helped the start of the game. As fans, I felt that because we were so up for it, I felt as if the players really come out the trap side. And I think
that's what we talked about. That's what we said last week. With supporters, you've got to support the team and encourage them to go on and perform and do well. And that is what the start of the game did.
Seems but then at the minute, what we seem to do with teams is like prod them, like, and they go, "Oh, I'm awake now." Like, so we take the lead, and it seems like we're just booted a line in the face.
I'll be really honest. If I was the manager or a player of the opposition, and we went and my team went 1-0 down against Newcastle, I wouldn't be asked. It wouldn't bother us in the slightest. I'd be like, we're going to get chances. We're going to get chances. It'll be our You know what I mean? Honestly, and I hate to say that, but
especially with bloody Lejeune and Clark playing centre half.
For me, the after we scored the goal, for some reason we would not close them down. Like, we just would not close them down.
We didn't do it all game. The amount of space and
they were having the ball at times. They looked like fucking Barcelona, man. Well, we couldn't get the ball.
When I was speaking to Ed yesterday, he said, did you notice Lejeune and Clark? What about them just inviting players on them? It looked like we had 2 Stephen Taylors playing. You had players attacking one, and they're both just stepping back and stepping back and stepping back. To the point where if you make a mistake,
put a foot in, take them wide.
But Hayden was doing that, and our fullbacks were doing that, and every single
I thought the midfield Hayden and Marino were both very poor.
Did not work.
Hayden was awful. Honestly,
Marino I think got off quite lightly in.
He gave the ball away for the first goal. He gave it away stupidly.
Marino's been poor since he came back from his injury.
But it's a bit like the Murphy argument for me that he's come back from an injury, so he's obviously maybe not feeling 100%.
He's came back with the team struggling.
He's playing in a bad side, you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know if someone that's new to our league and that. It's hard I think it's hard for someone to come in. And that's why, for me, I'd rather play 3 in midfield to give them a little bit of safety in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Because you're playing 2 there, and we were getting overrun for fun. We couldn't pick up Gray at all, period. Mahrez looked like the best player in the world against us there. Every touch just looked as if I couldn't give a fuck, I'm playing amazing. But we just couldn't close anybody down. And only the 2 players in front were mint. I honestly thought that was the best I've seen Yosselu play.
It was a strange one because we essentially matched them in formation. They always play 4-4-2, that counter-attacking football, and we were set up the same way, but it was really annoying and frustrating for me is that, right, if you're set up identical to that team, you've automatically and naturally got a player that is playing in your opposite position for you to pick up.
We could.
That is your man, therefore if that man is in space or has got the ball, pick them up.
Yeah.
If you're playing left of the midfield, you're going to be playing against their right of midfield.
Them looked at me that them had an extra man in midfield the whole game.
But it was because of their movement. And there was no effort to track up and track back, close down. And
you see the difference when we got the ball? Because them had the ball sometimes for about 5 or 6 minutes. Literally just passing. We slow
the game down when we got the ball.
We got it back. God, it was so awful to watch, wasn't it?
Do you know what?
End up just going back to Darlow.
Do you know what really concerns me is we'll get the ball and we'll get put to say like Richie on the wing. And we're out in the corner on the wing. Like you see a manager make its way all the way back to Darlow.
All the way back, yeah.
There's no player that has got the confidence at the minute to try something, to push forward.
I don't think it's confidence, I just don't think they've got the ability.
Well, I disagree, right, because I think I put this on, I didn't, I just commented on someone's Twitter. There's someone put the goal on that Ipswich, I know it's Ipswich, right, but they know when the goal was scored at home. And I think every single player touched the ball.
Yeah.
I watched that whole goal.
Wasn't that goal of the season?
Might have been. And I commented, like, saying, it was the same 11 players, minus Shelby obviously, but it was the same players, and they kept it on the ground for the entire way around, went to Darlow, back to Yedlin, blah, 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 scored. all I'm seeing from her now is it just goes back to Darlow and he just smashes it up front. That's all I'm seeing. And about confidence, my God, Clark is a different player, man.
Clark's developing at the minute.
He does. He can't even kick the ball away correctly. Like he's just trying to lump it clear and it's going on for a throw in or just really bad. Like,
I was saying that it was like for me there was just as the game went on, the first half and the second, there was just a lack of organisation and leadership on that pitch.
That defense
Nobody wanted to take any kind of responsibility or ownership to actually try and grab a hold of the team and actually, give them a shake and say the shape was all over the place. I mean, you said a couple of weeks ago about the back four. Jesus, they were everywhere. The midfield, you're essentially playing 4-4-2. So get lines. It's very simple, but they were just, I don't know.
It's got to shoot.
Well, we're the youngest side, aren't we, in the league apparently on squad, and it's really telling to me now that we are young because we just don't, as he said, got none of the leaders there, no one that's willing to organise.
But when you look at it, the team on paper, we're only really missing a couple of Lascelles from the back, as you say, possibly Shelby, maybe Atsu instead of Murphy from what you would probably consider your full strength team.
And all young players, Shelby, how old is Shelby? 25.
But Shelby's been in the Premier League constantly, so he knows the league a bit. Don't get us wrong. I'm not saying that he hasn't been playing that well either. I'm not saying he deserves to start because he's unbelievable. But just when he got rested the week before, I honestly did think he'd be playing again. And I just worry that you look at the midfield.
The only reason
two centre midfielders have never played the Premier League before, man. I know Hayden's played.
Hayden's played a couple of times for Arsenal and stuff like that, but
less than a handful.
He hadn't played a Premier League game until he come to us. So you've got two people in the most important area in the field haven't played a game.
Someone said about Hayden, they said, I was one of the pundits, I think he said, you don't realise the job that Hayden does. Like defensively, I went, we've conceded so many goals for the last few weeks. I'd strongly argue against
the thing is
work that he does, because if he's doing that defensive job so well, then surely defenders shouldn't be under so much pressure.
He's a passenger on airport talent.
I don't think it's that, because again, for me, the goals that were conceded were all down to individual errors, and a lot of the goals that are conceded are down to individual errors. So
what was your thoughts on the Mahrez one for Darlow? Did you think he could have done better?
I think
hit it at speed, but that was poor.
It was a poor positioning from him for me, if I'm picking at that.
He got a hand of it in almost like.
It seemed like it went through his fingers.
That's what limp wristed. I thought and again, it reminded us so much of I know.
Cool.
Get your body behind the ball. That's what you got to do as a keeper.
You remember with Shaqiri weeks and weeks ago, where they just allowed him to come in on his left. And it was the same thing. He's coming in.
They hadn't really tested him until that point. But
they had a few long range shots because I was getting a bit frustrated because we weren't closing the guy down. We were just letting Gray smash them from 25 yards out. They were going wide. And then Mahrez, we just allowed him to come in and just remind us so much of the Shaqiri one.
Well, no, Liverpool as well. When
Coutinho
did exactly the same as well, didn't he?
For some reason, won't charge down. I don't know why. But
the thing is with Darlow, right? The longer a player doesn't play, the better he gets. Sat on the bench.
What do you mean?
Like in a fan's mind?
In a fan's mind, no.
Because Elliot makes a mistake and people go, Darlow's better. But I think Darlow's really poor against Leicester.
He come out for that. Do you see when he come out for that corner? And he missed he went to get it and he.
I think it's harsh to blame him.
I'm not blaming him, but I'm saying he's poor.
I don't think he's poor.
I don't think he could have done anything with the other two goals.
Nah. Nothing.
So if you're pointing fingers of blame for that first goal, should have closed Mahrez down.
He should have probably saved it in all fairness, but
better positioning from the keeper. Yeah. Then we went on the second goal, and we
Mahrez
had a disagreement over the cause of the blame for that. But for me, that the blame was square with Yedlin, and I'd been shouting at him constantly for that game about his positioning.
My argument with Yedlin is back to the whole Richie point.
Oh, I've been with you week in, week out on that one, but
when you're saying position, sorry, what do you mean by that?
So he was essentially playing as a right centre back.
Right, and I've said this weeks ago.
Yeah, did I?
Didn't that he plays too far in.
He was getting drawn in. Yep. But their left winger just constantly stayed there because he knew If he stayed out there, the ball had come to him. Time and time again it went, and then Yedlin was having to come back out.
I don't think Yedlin's doing that.
Have a look what's behind you.
I think he's getting told to play that way. I honestly
What, like tuck in?
Yep. There's no way he's going to do that mistake 3 times. He does it all the time. He is told to stay narrow, stay compact. I reckon he's honestly getting told to do that. But we got done off. Was it Bournemouth? Who was the mask guy? Bournemouth was that?
Bournemouth, aye.
Done on that side of the field.
Aye, but that,
Watford was it? Watford, sorry.
But that wasn't. Again, that's to come back to the point that you were saying, where it was Richie was putting him and making him have 2 men. So for them goals, I would err on that side.
But when you see the move start, he's playing as a right centre back again. Like, he's still in that same position. Yeah. And I agree, it's bullshit.
He was constantly coming across, and you've got to be aware as a defender of what's happening and who's around you. And he just seemed constantly oblivious to the fact that their left winger was standing there in an acre of space. So
it was bollocks. That second goal again, Mahrez will give him so much time on the ball, and I think he pinged a one.
He put it over him, and then he cut inside and smashed it in.
It was Gray. It felt like Gray and Gray. It was a good finish from Gray. Like, to be fair, I like him a lot. It was funny. I said to my dad before I went, the only 2 we've got to watch, I reckon, because my dad Vardy. He said Vardy. He says no.
Vardy didn't have a kick.
I said just watch Gray and Mahrez, and then Mahrez scored, and he went, well, there's one of them, and then Gray scored. Like, you fuck off.
But that's because even though they played 4-4-2, most of the time Vardy was up front on his own, and he was clever because he would position himself between the 2 central defenders, which is if you're playing a lone striker, you've got to do, and then if you want to pull off onto the back shoulder of one of them. But so again, I could not understand why Yedlin, when you've got 2 centre halves there, picking up 1 man. Why do you need to go over and cover it? Yeah. You don't.
Unless you
just stay out there.
That Lejeune's the slowest centre half in world history. Unless he's worried about his pace, maybe, I don't know. But
most of the time it was coming down the right hand side through Mahrez, and then he was either then dropping it back in there or trying to get Vardy in on behind, who was then pulling in on the Clark.
I didn't feel Mahrez was hurting at all on the right hand side of the field. I wouldn't say he had Manquillo on toast or anything like that. He was coming more centrally, and we're just
when he was cutting inside. But that's where you then need your midfield. So you needed Hayden or Mourinho to step across.
Which horrendous. I thought them 2 were so bad on Saturday. And again, that's the most important area of the field, man. Your 2 centre midfielders have to be on the game, and they were. At times they were just coming forward at will, at will, man, and we just couldn't get near them. And that's why I don't like the Lejeune, but it's hard. I think it's hard enough for 2 centre halves when they're not getting any protection at all from Hayden and your Mourinho at all.
No, they're not.
At all. I'm not saying they're doing any good either. I'm not, but it's hard work, that, man. They were just coming out constantly. And
the thing is, apart from the strikers, I think it was a shambles, everywhere else on the pitch.
What was your thoughts on Joselu?
Joselu
started well. He was
good
for the very beginning. I thought his link-up play with Gill was fantastic.
I don't think Joselu's had a poor game. If you just look at him
doing the shit work.
Aye, but when you look at him finishing wise,
that's finishing wise when you get pissed off. I get 100%.
Well, he took his goal well.
I can never see.
It was a good finish.
Yeah, I can never see he's had a bad game for Newcastle.
Just some fans think he's had a terrible one because he hasn't scored necessarily.
I think he's in the same boat as what Mitrovic is. He does the work, but he doesn't score the goals.
I think I can't remember who it was now, but it was a couple of weeks ago. He was terrible, and even you were slating him that game.
No, it wasn't. It was a home game. Wasn't it? That stupid slide.
Would have been Watford.
Was that one where he missed? He went to kick and then he standing foot.
Could be Bournemouth.
Was not Watford. It was Watford where he missed in the first couple of minutes.
Oh yes, you're right. Sorry, it was. Because the reason why I was actually, I'm not saying happy to see him, but I wasn't bothered because he didn't play the game before. And I thought, he may come back a bit fresher and stronger. And I honestly thought he looked brilliant. He won a lot of his headers up front. His hold-up play was brilliant. His link-up play with Gill was really good. Really good.
There's people still sit there and say that he can't play football. He should never be on the pitch and stuff like that.
That's really harsh because I honestly thought on Saturday he was good. Did you see the one in the second half where Gill? Well, actually, I thought
Gill was unbelievable on Saturday.
When he flashed one just wide, literally just wide the second half.
That was the one.
Joselu, the way he brought it down, man, he just bullied someone and wasn't even really looking at where Gill was, and he played Gill in and he shot, and I thought it was in, but it didn't.
I thought Gill had a really good game on Saturday.
He did. Looks hungry, quick.
It was one of his better games, and like everyone knows, I've criticised Gill quite a lot, in this league, and I think he was superior to the players around him on Saturday. He looks eager, doesn't he?
He looks fit.
Like he's got a point to prove.
He looks fit. He looks angry in a good way, like, you know what I mean. And I know a lot of people don't think he will score goals, but I think he will. He really is in a way. In a way, he is.
He's not going to get 25 goals, but yeah.
There's not many are going to get 25 goals.
Not in this team,
or in this team certainly. But what I find, and I honestly, this is my only worry. I feel to get the best out of Gale, he needs Joselu and Mitrovic to play with him. Yeah. But I think as a team, we can't play with two up front. I don't think we're capable of keeping them out. So it's a difficult. I think Gale on his own will end off going, he's not good enough. Because he needs Joselu to be doing the shit work.
Yeah, you're right. Gale up top by himself probably won't be good enough.
Won't work.
Like not even anywhere near.
So do we be hard to beat again and try and nick a game 1-0, or do we have what we've just had on Saturday or the last 5-6 games where we're just fucking conceding that loads, man? I don't know if Lascelles is just going to put all that to bed, because I love Lascelles, but I don't think him coming back is just going to stop all that. I just think we're midfield so shit.
I think it's at least going to get a bit of organisation.
Yeah. I think the team itself will get a little bit of a boost with Lascelles coming back.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
But then who do you drop? I would drop Lejeune.
It's got to be, man. It's got to be, man. How's he been playing all the time? He's done so many mistakes. Like,
we're 4 months down the line. We started off. He was brilliant.
He only played 30 minutes against Tottenham. And he got injured, didn't he? Yeah. And then his first game back was Southampton. He got a fucking penalty away. And then, since he came back to Southampton, I can't tell you anything he's done well. Every game I remember, Burnley away, I blamed him. Playing a fucker offside, he ran out and thought he was a defensive midfielder for some reason. The Southampton game, winning 2-1, he gives a penalty away that he should have never done.
Let's just hope it's like you're saying, it's that first season Colo effect.
And it probably is. And I'll go back to the same thing I said about Marino. It is tough for someone in this league, in a shit team. It is tough for somebody, so I just think he needs a break. I'm not saying sell him, I'm not saying I didn't like him. I'm just saying give him a break and bring themselves back in and play the back four that I think we were used to playing. It was Yedlin, Lascelles and Clark, and remember left back. That was the four that were played with all the fucking time.
That was where when we've looked we're most organised and strong at the back.
100%.
Let's talk about the.
But remember, pace is the thing that would worry me. Coming up with somebody in the.
Right, let's talk about the substitution where Hayden goes off. Right, who were you expecting to come on the pitch today?
I've had a mind blank of actually.
Shelby, I think.
I was expecting Shelby to come on.
Yeah,
right.
And Perez came on, didn't he?
And Perez doesn't.
Well, he went. Didn't Perez go and play left?
He came on for Murphy.
Perez not come on for Murphy and went and played left wing, didn't he?
Atu not go on for Murphy.
Atu came on for Richie.
Atu came on for Richie, aye.
So who came on for
Murphy? Murphy came on.
Who came on for Hayden?
Did he even go off? He didn't come off.
Hayden went off.
He didn't.
Did he not?
No. Because then
was that actually that?
Because Perez came.
Oh no,
Perez came on.
Richie Murphy and
Perez went out on the left hand
side.
I
wasn't bothered by that because I actually think he's better out there. I honestly think
we've
he's better out there.
had that discussion before.
Perez is better on the wing.
When he played out there,
I wasn't too bothered when he come. I didn't want him to come on. I'm not. I didn't want him to come on, but when he did, I thought, well, he's left wing. He's out the way a bit. Like, you know what I mean?
Did we get equalised after he came on, or was it before?
No, before.
Was it? I thought it was just after he came on.
I think it
Bloody
was.
hell, we done research.
No, I think it was.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm sure Perez was on.
Well, he had any hand in the goal
when
so
he came.
No,
it was good finish.
No, I thought Perez was on.
I'm sure Perez came on.
Just after, I thought it was.
Oh, well, whatever.
Because I'm sure a comment was made around that. Obviously, the substitution was bizarre.
With the winger going off.
I think Murphy for because I remember when it happened. Even I stood up and went, "What's he doing?" And Murphy literally just wouldn't run back for some. I don't know why he wouldn't run back.
To be fair, he was probably.
And Rafa stood straight up and went. He pointed at somebody, get changed. It was Perez, and I wasn't asked by that at all. The Richie one, what was your thoughts on Richie? I thought he was poor again.
Another poor game.
Again.
He works hard. He was working really hard, but and I criticise him in the championship for this. Going that way, he's very poor. He's shit,
as a winger, he's poor.
He's poor. He doesn't ever beat a man.
I know.
He gets the ball.
I like Richie.
But I think,
and just
do you not think that's the problem is that he's left-footed playing on the right-hand side, so he's not going to naturally get down that byline and put a crossing because you're going to always have to come back or check
can't
even when he gets it on
Townsend's
his left foot, he seems to come back again. Like, it never seems to be a straight thing. It seems to be dicks about on the way.
He always looks for Yedlin in the overlap, doesn't he?
He loves to like fanny it. Like he gets it stand still and he's fannying about.
Yeah.
Dead fidgety and then he just pass it Yedlin. It happens every single time. And I love Richie as well. So I'd hate criticising him because his work rate, his passion's there. he's just having a bad time.
He's having a bad spell. Like I say, we're just hoping that it's his the slump that he has normally around Christmas, New Year, just before. Because
that's when it's hard for a team.
I like him.
It's like Sir Richie, where to us he is our superstar. He is the one player we've got that we'll look to, and when he's not playing well, it's
when Atsu came on. I thought Atsu done well.
I thought he
seemed
did
very direct, and we know we're going to get this from Atsu. And I think
you think how important he's been since.
I think he's been a massive miss, like huge.
I thought I was a bit surprised. Aaron's wasn't there because he when he came on last week.
Was he in the squad, Aaron's?
When he came on against West Brom away, changed a lot of the game, and I've got a lot of time for him, to be honest. That because I would have said. I thought he had equal a chance
Aaron's
as Murphy.
Wasn't even in the squad?
He wasn't in the squad. That's exactly what I said to me. I was like, how is he not even in the squad now? Because I think him and Murphy.
He's got to be disappointed with that because, as I say, like when he's came on as a sub, he's had an impact.
He was very good against West Brom when he come on. He was direct, bit like that too, really. Do you know what I mean? But again, Aaron's for all he's been injured.
I think Aaron's gives you a bit more with his final ball than Atsu does.
Yeah. I'm a big Atsu fan. Like
I've got a lot of time for him.
Thinking like the package that you get with Atsu, like the fact how much little we're paid for him, and what he gives you. We've got an absolute bargain.
He's the one player.
It's the final ball.
It might be, but for what we're paid for him, he's the one player that has that something. You can tell when he goes past the player, he controls the ball. He just has that difference, don't he? Rather than all the rest of them.
I think if you compare the likes of him up against Murphy and Richie at the minute, I think Atsu's miles ahead of him. Miles.
It's just form thing, innit?
But he's been injured for God knows how long. He comes on the pitch and he does what we were
he's
expecting
got that
Murphy to do.
He's got that natural pace, though, hasn't
what we were expecting Murphy to do a few weeks ago, Atsu comes on the pitch and pisses it.
Yeah.
And we were getting criticised. Murphy needs to do better. Atsu comes on and does exactly what we wanted Murphy to do.
Atsu's a good player. He's a tricky player. I
think he's very underrated, you know. I think he's underrated.
Player. I've got a lot of time for him. I play him every week, I would, honestly.
That's it. Final third's the only thing.
But let's talk about Shelby.
For me.
Like why did we not see Shelby? That's
the only reason I could potentially think of, because I expected him to be back in there, is that when you're playing against Leicester, you know they're a team that likes to hit you with pace, hit you on the break, and put you under the pressure on that counter attack. And we've said it a few times, but there's no way on this earth as Shelby's got the legs for that in midfield.
I don't think
against
Hayden
them
or Marino have.
Hayden's
just because
probably
he's
a bit more. He's got youth on his side. He can get himself back into those positions.
But pace wise,
Marino probably can get himself out of trouble with a tackle or something like that. Shelby's very clumsy in the tackle. He gives how many free kicks does he give away? That kind of thing. I don't know. That was the only thing I could pick at. It was potentially pace. That's
something Rafa said today in his press conference. Asked him.
Yeah. Well, it was Mitrovic and Shelby, wasn't it?
It was really them two, and he went. They're just the players that aren't playing haven't given us enough in training to pick. That's basically what he said.
He didn't say it.
Well, maybe not as blunt as that, but he meant that. That's what he meant.
Intimated to that, wasn't it? It was like,
they're not doing enough.
Sometimes if a player isn't playing or they're on the bench, it's because they're not doing the things in training that you expect as a manager.
Do you think...
So it was a bit more diplomatic, but basically saying...
Do you think the likes of Mitrovic now has got it in his head that he hasn't got a future at Newcastle United? So
he is gone.
So he probably thinks in training, why do I fucking bother? Because we know, and you've said before, that...
I would have told Rafa to fuck off on Saturday. 100%.
If you were who?
Mitrovic. Was it a minute ago?
I
just scored. I would have went, firstly, why are you taking Yosselu off? Why don't we just go 3
I
up
can't
front?
remember who it was, but someone
ridiculous,
said,
man.
like,
ridiculous.
Mitrovic came on the pitch, and like I looked at like Twitter afterwards, and it was Simon Mitrovic came on the pitch, and like, here comes the human full-time whistle. That's amazing.
To be fair, there was a fair bit of injury time. There was about 5 minutes. But it was just that it was the final throw of the dice, wasn't it? Chuck him on up front.
He took Yosselu off, man. Why wouldn't you just go 3 up front? We need a goal in 5 minutes to go. Put all 3 of them on and go long. Well, you've been going long anyway the whole game. Get all 3 of them on.
If you do that, bring another second. I didn't even... Well, probably had a member.
Take Manquillo off, man. Just kill him.
Well, that's
get him off the field.
Was on the bench.
Just take him off and put 3 up front.
On the bench.
Lascelles?
Gone 3 at the back.
Well, I don't know if Lascelles is fit.
You only playing... They hardly had Vardy up front. And again, when they gone 3-2 up that late on, they're going to sit back. So just
of course. Well,
they spent half an hour on the bloody corner.
take one of the full backs off.
That's what I meant. Take Mankey off
I three at the
and
back.
put 3 up front. And when he took Joselu for Mitrovic, I was like, "Are you shitting me? Are you having my life?" Like, because Joselu had done okay, he wasn't hurt.
And it's not the fact of like resting the player because there's only a few minutes to go.
It's 5 minutes to go. Go 3 up front and just bang it along. You've got 2 big lads up front plus maybe Lejeune if he's if you happen to go really direct and hire him up front now. And he went 1 for 1. And I'm thinking you've given 2 minutes when we're 3-2 down. Literally, Mitrovic must have felt like turning around. Well,
I think when we got the equaliser, and to be fair, we probably then got back on the front foot after we equalised.
Well,
we did.
After the goal was scored was that Gale chance I just mentioned before. Yeah. Literally seconds later, I would play Gale and he just fired wide, and I thought, God,
because it gave everybody a lift again. Obviously, the crowd got up.
Upstairs, Mankey and
stuff like that, and
Perez maybe, but Mankey gets all the way into the box and has a heart attack. Actually had a heart attack. Did you see that in the box? Total nosebleed. Didn't know what to do. Lost the ball. We were caught out.
But to be fair, there was nobody there for him to pass to.
I didn't want him to pass. I didn't want him to pass.
Take the corner, something. I don't know.
He's in. He's 9 yards out.
Like I'm saying though, but because we were on the ascendancy at that point, it was like obviously they're trying to go and to win it.
It was old school days. It was the Pardew days.
Look back at that third goal, and Sky showed an angle where the camera's behind the goal, behind Dollar's goal, and you see Perez just hanging around, right?
He's just standing there in the centre circle.
That just ran.
Well, there was 2.
Like straight
so the first one that ran past him on the right hand side was Okazaki.
Well, that's who it was. Is that who got the ball?
That's who essentially scored.
Aye, right. Well, he just sprints. But
even before that,
goes, oh shit.
Okazaki was on the edge of his own box. Perez was standing in the centre circle. He made up from the ball going out to the right-hand side from the edge of his own box to the centre circle to Perez just as the ball was crossing the halfway line. How's he got that distance? And then, as Perez has seen him, because he's looking at him go past him, why doesn't he go, oh, hold on, I better chase after him.
He did that when it was 2-2.
Well, he didn't, because he didn't start actually running until he went, oh, hold on, he's going to get into the box here. And it was at the edge of the D. He went, shit. Start running. After Abiyad, a second player also went past him. So he was overtaken by 2 players who ran from their own box and still beat him to our box when he was on the halfway line.
Well, you all know I don't like Perez. You all know that. But I'm actually...
Mark likes him.
He wasn't the only one to blame there. Like, where's were Hayden's? Where's were Marino's? Where's were Yedlin?
They were in the box trying to win the ball that was played across to the left-hand side.
For me, the ball that got played to Vardy, all we had was Clark and Lejeune. Period. There's only 2 at the back we had. Lejeune actually did really well to hold up Vardy. I couldn't for the life of us not understand why Clark didn't look over his shoulder. But they both got ball hungry and went to the same man. And Vardy went, cheers lads, straight to him. And yes, Perez should have been there, but I couldn't. Once Lejeune won the ball for Vardy, how isn't Clark going looking over his shoulder to see he was there? He would have seen Okazaki and then back off a bit. But they got ball watching again. They just went for the ball.
Well, he won the ball. Lejeune won the ball and then tried to play it.
No, he won the ball and Vardy fell down, but Vardy was just really quick to get back up. So we never actually really won the ball totally. But we're stuck in the centre.
Because I actually thought he'd done well to get
a
tackle in. It was a tackle or a block.
Yeah, he did well.
And then
both of them went still to Vardy. If Clark had just, all right, you're all right with him.
I think Clark was more kind of covering the near post.
If Vardy does him, then Clark gets looked at. So it's a tough one for Clark in fairness. I just thought if he had looked over his shoulder, shit, he's there, you know. But nobody's come back to help us out.
It's that risk of the head on the balls, yeah, if he beats him.
That's true. No, you're right there. You're right.
It's just another game with individual errors. Time after
and he brought me hand, you know, when that one went in.
It was so frustrating.
I sit, it's like, you know, where you would walk out, like the, what do you call it? The fucking exit. What do you call them? What do you call them?
I don't know. Tunnel?
The
tunnel thing?
I know. You know what I mean? I like sit like this, like, do you know what I mean? So the wall's like right in front of us.
I'm the same.
And honestly, when it went in, I just stitched the wall. I went, just all of like.
It was just so frustrating, wasn't it?
It was. It just
yet another goal.
I
think it was everything that had happened in the day beforehand. Then that happens at the end. You think, for fuck. Do you know, like when you were a kid, right?
There's no way we deserve to lose that game.
Yeah, but you know when
no way.
It was Newcastle United's birthday, right? 125th birthday, right? So do you know when it's your birthday, right? And you play past the parcel. So the parcel's going around, right? And you don't fucking win.
But you're not going to win past the parcel at your own birthday party.
You want to fucking win it though. And Newcastle fucked up.
I'll be honest. when we went 1-0 up, right, I just playing for. I thought up until that goal, till we went 2-1 down, we were absolutely awful. Like as bad as you could ever watch a team play. I thought we were. But then when we scored the second goal, out and out, really, we didn't even look like scoring, and we scored. All of a sudden, we're like, "Fuck, now we're gonna win this." And that's
probably a
that's why
few games we played better than
why it's so frustrating, isn't it?
It is. But Rafa said so many times, and I know he's went back to saying we're not experienced enough, blah blah. But Rafa's went back and said there's certain games where you just can't lose. And for me, we shouldn't be as gung ho as that with a minute ago. We got caught in the derby and some dark days where we're just gung ho trying to go for the winner, and we shouldn't be. We've got to be more clever on that, man. Got to be more clever on that.
It's like another game where we've conceded in the dying minutes.
It's shit,
whether it be half time, whether it be full time.
The Bournemouth 1-0 got beat last minute.
It shows you the difference in the mentality of the teams, though, because they essentially did to us what we were doing to them on that break. Because they'd attacked us, and as you say, their Manquillo was flying forward. We hit them on the break.
This is how we started.
We could have been up there.
Yedlin came to life after when it went 2-2. Yedlin was in Atsu were just blasting down that. Hence why the goal at the third one, Yedlin was nowhere to be seen. It was only Clark and Lejeune that were back. Yedlin, you could say technically should be there, but
again, that's the difference. So if their players can, therefore, when we're hitting them on the break, get back, why can't ours? Well, and yes, I know I'm pointing the finger at Perez because he let two run past him.
Wasn't there?
But where's the midfield?
That's what
busting
I mean,
a good back. Where's everybody?
There's at least four or five players.
Again. I know it's late in the game. You're going to be tired, but you've got to put that last ditch chance in. Well, that's what I mean.
But Perez isn't. I'm sticking up for me. I think Perez isn't switched on that way in the field, man. He's not switched on about picking up runners and that.
But when
and
you see somebody running
past you,
but you've got to. You kind of think.
But he's fucking
somebody else is going to get him because he's looking directly back.
So why didn't he?
I would at least swipe at me like.
Well, only he knows.
He's shit,
only he knows and what on earth.
Because he's one of these.
Going on in
they'll let him run, and he'll think someone else will sort that out. Someone else will sort it out.
But he's looking that there's nobody else there.
If that was Shelby would have just took him out.
That's the sensible thing to do.
I reckon Shelby would have
just went free kick, take it.
To be fair to Perez, he did well to actually get back and obviously put that tackle in, which we know then ended up in the back of the net. But
see how deflated the players were when that went in there.
If only he just
hit the deck.
If he'd reacted even 3 seconds earlier, I mean, Okazaki would have still been at the edge of the box by that point. But at least he would have been with his man.
It's painful.
I mean, it could have.
I do blame Perez. I just think
down.
There is others as well. I don't know where Hayden was. Where can Hayden be?
He was down.
He's our holding midfielder with a minute to go. I didn't care if you're a holding midfielder, right? And Manquillo, your left back, is in the penalty area. He's literally bombed forward. I'll be honest with you. Your holding midfielder has to go right. Let me just hold my role a bit here.
I'll sit here.
Where on earth could have he been there?
Well, like I said, I thought you had been subbed off.
Well, they were gone. But we just shouldn't be as gung ho as that with a minute ago. I'm sorry, we just shouldn't be. And a few of my mates on Facebook disagreed with me completely. They were saying, "Oh, well, we are in the ascendancy. We should be pushing forward to get the winner." I don't know. I don't know. I think we should be.
I think
take your point and go and be happy with that. You've stopped the rot. Personally, you know, then again, we could have scored.
It was late.
Oh, it was late on. Like it was. You knew when it went in. It was our hour. You just knew, man.
Hang on, I've got it on my phone.
So there you are. So there is the tracking back. So they're coming down the left-hand side.
Look, yeah. Mahrez was mid.
Right, so watch. So there you are. They're all on halfway line. But look,
Clark there. Oh, just look here. Just look there. Oh, so I know it's Perez's fault. I know.
Hang on, where they?
Wait, doesn't mean no.
It's this angle.
All right, okay.
There's no one looking at Dolo there.
Watch it here.
Nothing Dolo could have done a bit better.
That can't be that one.
Nah, because Dolo's over for his near post.
Hang on, watch.
He gets back and hard, doesn't he? Bastard.
He does, he gets back. I think maybe Perez, if Perez wasn't there, maybe Dolo had a better chance.
No.
It's a strange one, like, because he just booted it in the
but I think because he had his right foot, he's going to hit it across. Whereas Perez,
if it was Dummett, he would have cleared that. He would have went around him. Do you know what I mean? Whereas he's trying to just flick it. But again, I've seen that, and I still stand by that. Lejeune and
I mean,
Clark there.
Exactly, he had a lot of time on the ball there. He takes it under control.
Well, he took a shit touch, actually. In all fairness, I thought his touch was shit.
Look.
Yeah, I know.
One run past him. 2 runs past him.
That's Atsu running back there. Where was he?
We found Hayden yet.
Same team.
That was Atsu was running back there, you know.
We found Hayden.
They are, Hayden and Atsu.
That was Yedlin, that one, was it?
No, that's
yes.
number.
No, the other one was, the one on the left there, was Yedlin. Anyway,
It's just...
it's just
It's a
unacceptable.
horrible goal to concede.
It is, it's just shit, man. It's shit.
That's 2 own goals in 2 games, isn't it? Was the game before that Yedlin scored 1 goal?
It's a good finish, like, from Perez, like.
Shame we couldn't eat it at the fucking other end.
Something made said, I put on, I said something, he texted back, but mint finish from Perez, like, bastard. I didn't even know it was no goal, you know, honestly. I'm bang on like mobile, like where Perez was.
On an angle to that kind of thing, so...
But
straight away.
it was just it was an absolute sickener. Just an absolute sickener. And I just thought, like, it's another fucking defeat, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Where do we...
6 in a row now.
we could have went 11th and if I'd have won that game, which
Where
is
do we
quite
go
scary,
now?
really.
It's just that's the margins in the
now?
Premier
Like,
League.
where do we
at the
go
minute, isn't
now?
it?
Like, from this, Everton coming up tomorrow
So
night.
tomorrow
fucked
night
tomorrow,
we
we're
have
I'm going for this. We're done tomorrow.
we
We're
have,
hammered off them.
have to win. I kind of see we're getting hammered off them because they are not
I think it's
are
gonna
not
be 2
scoring
defensive
goals.
teams, isn't it?
The Allardyce has came in and he's done what we need to do at the minute and reorganise. Get yourself set up right and
It's back to basics, isn't it?
it's because I mean they were conceding goals for fun. And he's came in two games now he's had. I think it's the last 3 games, so Unsworth's last game, where obviously Allardyce was kicking about, where they haven't conceded up until
The derby.
the derby game on Sunday, wasn't it?
I think it's written in the stars already. I think it's going to be 0-0 up until late 80 minutes, and Rooney's going to ping one in the top corner. You can just see
I
it
was
coming.
watching that game on Sunday, the Merseyside derby, and there was a point towards the end where it was late on in the game, and Liverpool went on the attack, and Rooney tracked back the full length of the pitch, back into the right back position, and you were like, that is. I looked at it and I went, that is what we are missing on that pitch, is that commitment and effort. And yes, you can say that his best days are behind him and stuff, but you know, quality and working hard. And Rafa keeps going on and on about working hard. There is a prime example of working hard. And if we can't track back with players like that for that goal, when you've got Wayne Rooney doing it, who's a striker or playing, because I think kind of what's happening with him and Evan, he's gone a bit like that what Teddy Sheringham did at Man United in his latter years, kind of that almost a slower number 10, picking passes and stuff like that, but he's still quality.
I'm worried about tomorrow.
Right, so you should be.
I am worried.
We've conceded about 30 goals in 5 weeks or something, man. We're not very good, you know what I mean? And them have got that new manager syndrome. He's going to have them set up so well.
Especially from the highs that we had at the start of the season.
But that's what I'm saying, though. They're struggling to score goals, though.
I hate to say this, right? And I think that, you know, the way I see Newcastle most of the time, you know, if someone is struggling to do something or someone's never scored for 10 games, come and play us. We'll do that for you. It happens all the time. They haven't won away
I
from
can
home
see
in
it
10
being
years.
like
They'll beat us.
a bit like the Burnley game, because I think that's what it'll be like.
But we'll lose, though.
Obviously, we'll
lose. That's all I'm saying. It might be close. It might be 0-0 for 80 minutes.
It's the breaking down of them if they are set up in a very
couldn't even do it.
a very strong way with, you know, just like I'm asking for us to do. Be organised, get your lines right, get your positions right.
So what changes would you like to see for this game, if any?
It's tough because I actually think it'll be harsh on Yosselu to drop him, but I think we'll have to get that 3 in midfield.
My first one would be Richie. And I'd put Atsu on one of the wings.
He could potentially do with the rest.
Murphy could swap over our wings that would be my
I still
biggest
wouldn't drop
concern.
him.
And Shelby.
I think he'd give you more as an impact player.
Richie. I just think he'd worked really hard on that side of the field, and then I've got Leighton Baines, who I know he's all like, but still think he bombs forward.
Down their left-hand side, they've got Baines and Sigurdsson, haven't they?
Baines is injured. Oh, well, fair enough then. Maybe drop him then. I was just thinking more defensive-minded.
Lascelles has surely got to come back in.
Has to.
Surely.
Has to.
Is he fit enough?
Did they say how touch and go he was for Saturday?
So they said
He
should be. I think it's in the press conference today. He said he should be back.
He said there's a chance
Dummett's
he'll play and
not
Dummett's
quite
not
there.
I would love him.
So would I. We've criticised him so much, but God, I cannot wait for him to be
if
back.
Mbemba had been playing left back, I don't think I would want him. I don't think I want him back.
True.
Because I go, as he just said there, when we were doing well at the start, and you just said Swansea away and stuff. Mbemba was very, very good. He only had that one tiny hiccup against Brighton when pushing the back, all that shit.
It could be a game where if it is going to be two tight teams that we maybe do need to bring Mitrovic into just to relieve some of that pressure to hold the ball up.
Joslu can do that. I believe Joslu to me on Saturday proved he can do that. He did it really well.
I know, but like we've said, in like you showed on Saturday, he's looking as that striker to have somebody playing off him.
Yes, I agree.
But we need to start changing things up because managers are going to come in and they're going to set the team up and say exactly how we've played all the last X amount of games.
They'll come tomorrow night.
Their defensive plan completely. In defenders' mindset, I think.
Everton will know now exactly, regardless of the team we put out on that pitch.
No, but I think
they are going to come out and set up very, very.
Like a defender's mindset. Who would you be happy to defend against? Joslu or Mitrovic?
Yeah, well, Joslu.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think Mitrovic player, your defenders have got more chance of making a mistake.
Well, they've still got Jagielka and
that clown Williams.
Yeah,
got to get at him, Got to get at him. He's the one you've got to get at constantly. He's really bad.
The likes of Shelvey and Mitrovic, right? The game will go one or two ways. You're either going to get it where someone's going to get sent off, or you're going to get.
I think it'll be a slower game. So Shelvey,
do you want to drink his
Shelvey could come. Shelvey could come in because the game's going to be slower, so he's going to have the time to actually play. Mm-hmm. As I said, that
I would start Shelvey.
The reason why
I think Shelvey's got to come back in.
But I think that the comments that we just talked about before are very telling.
He has to go back to what was working before.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that means 4-4-2 has to go then. Because we've all wanted two up front. Mm-hmm. And what I would say here as well, and I'll try to get this point across, was we didn't want 4-4-2 every week. We just meant in certain games play 4-4-2 against lesser opposition at home.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Chelsea, we didn't play 4-2.
Oh, yeah,
4-4-2, you know what I mean? Because I understand. But we need to be hard.
But it worked. It worked for the first game.
Well, it did for a while, it did. But I think you've got to be hard to beat. And I think I would play Shelvey, Marino and Hayden in midfield. That's what I would play.
I think there's been a lot of people on social media this week suggesting that. What Deka, you've been saying is for God.
I think it's getting to the point of frustration where we just need to stop this run of defeats, and if that means we become hard to beat and we're set up to take a draw,
that's what we have to be. And maybe get.
But it's still, as I say, it still runs the risk of, like happened at Burnley, you concede one on the break because that is what they're going to do.
Yeah, but I do agree. But if you look at the games we've won. If you look at the game that stands out to me, Swansea away, we were compact. We got a set piece and scored 1-0. No one complained then.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So
Palace did the same.
Palace was the same. The wins that we have getting.
We did complain because it was a shit game, but we won.
Yeah.
But
it can't get any worse than
the performance. I get at this stage probably does need to come second to the fact that we need points.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Right. Shall we jump into the questions?
Aye.
What about predictions first?
I'll do the predictions afterwards, man.
Mm-hmm. Just when we're talking about the game.
Well, do you want to do predictions now? I'm going to say 1-11. And that fucking kills us, that.
I think we'll score. I do think we'll score, so I'm going to be optimistic to say 1-1.
I think 1-1.
I did walk away.
I'll take it.
I said we're going to get hammered, but I'm going to be optimistic 1-1.
I'll take it now. I'll take it now.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Right,
I'd love to get it because we just need
to stop.
We need a win, man. We need a win.
Oh, a win would, of course, I agree. A win,
We're desperate for one, especially with all.
But let's look. Just everybody. I mean, and not everybody's going to listen or hear this, see this, but just please get behind the team.
Well, fuck tomorrow.
Let's just
late night kickoff. It's going to be freezing cold. There'll be no tomorrow, mate. It'll be a pin drop.
But that's the thing. That's where
hate to say that, but
we need the likes of Gallagher flags, the likes of Lee's flags to.
But we can't
everybody
do any
to get
on Saturday, mate.
Can't do anything more.
God, Saturday was.
No, but like we just said, there was a reaction to it. We need that reaction. We need everybody just to go straight out from work tomorrow night. Get hammered and get the match.
I've got 15 minutes to get hammered then.
Just drink at work. Nobody will notice.
Right, NUFC Paul sends in, will we stop the winless streak against Everton tomorrow night?
I seen the reply was quick.
No, I just replied to him. I'll answer this question now, mate.
Because I was going to reply and then I see you reading.
Winless. I don't know if we will get a win.
My head's saying no at all, but I'm going to be optimistic and say 1-1. But I think
So we know.
We could easily win it as lose it, because I think it'll be that kind of game.
Yeah.
If we start like we have in the last few games, we could quite easily take the lead again.
We just ain't got a Rooney, we ain't got a Sigurdsson. I just don't feel
Sigurdsson's
we have that
done.
person.
I like him. I think he's a good player. He's done nothing.
We got Martin words.
I know.
Right, he follows that up with, what has been the biggest reason for our recent downturn in form? Takeover distractions, injuries, tactics, or simply stronger opposition?
I think it's a mixture of all of it. I think that the takeover is probably a distraction. You kind of get away from the fact that.
Do you reckon it does?
Aye, because as a player, if you're there and everybody's talking about the fact that somebody's going to come in, they're going to be splashing this amount of money. You think, well, hold on, I'm not going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to be away.
Well, then you don't believe in yourself as a player. Because I would be the opposite.
But
if I was Richie, I'd be saying, I want to be part of
this.
You
know that there's players. We know that there's players that are not good enough within that team. There's people. Footballers have got fragile confidence. So if they feel that that they're not gonna. It depends on your character, doesn't it? Whether or not you react in one way or another. It's got to be a distraction because you don't know whether you're coming or going. I think probably the transfer windows and stuff like that probably makes it the same every time round.
Basically, I wanted every other player but the ones I've got.
Again, the same.
If the takeover,
the whole thing with Yossi with that week.
If the takeover is going to affect morale and get you fucking worried, his comments have to fucking be the same, surely.
NUFC unofficial sends in, do you think that we are making a bit too much of Rafa's news comment on today's press conference?
Yeah, probably. Even though I was excited.
Does anyone want to explain to those that don't know?
So he came out and said that he would be having meetings, and that hopefully tomorrow would bring a win and some positive news after the game.
A lot of people
and everybody assume that means the takeover's going to come, but it could be that he's going to meet with Charnley and that he'll come out and say, well, you've either got no money or you've got lots of money to spend in January or some. But he could easily come out and say there's nothing, because he says hopefully good news.
And Rafa doesn't know.
He doesn't know because he doesn't know what's going to happen in that meeting.
Yeah, true.
People are just clutching at straws and hoping for the best because
people are desperate for it, man.
Desperate for the change, because
that's exactly what we're just desperate.
So I mean, Alan Shearer even summed it up on Saturday on literally on the stroke of full time. He sent out that tweet. Everybody's seen it about Ashley. It's time to get out of the club. It's going nowhere.
Even what he said on
Match
of Day
stuff
2,
like that.
spot on. Absolutely amazing what he said. He went, people don't realise what's happening at this club. There's the likes of the staff aren't getting respected, the players aren't getting respected. Yeah, it goes right the way down.
That was quite deep. But you know what I find weird, right? And I only try to be honest.
He was kicking off about the players that were invited to the club, weren't they? They're saying it was the club's 125th anniversary.
Yeah.
And he went, look at how many good players have been at this club, and look how many came on the pitch.
He's saying that now, but he wasn't saying that when we were fucking 7th or 8th. He was like, well, I best in the world.
I don't know. He was.
No, I just think he was not saying that they're rotten from the core and the staff aren't happy and all this bollocks. I'm not saying he's not right. All I'm saying is, where were you when we were doing our read?
Well, I think the negativity it breeds itself, doesn't it?
So you lose games and people are on the fucking on your case immediately.
Like, say what, like when we were at the start of the season, like blah blah blah, and then Shearer comes out and says, look at the way the club are treating players. It just seems like off topic, like.
But this is being true to himself, though, and he's true to what it is. They didn't come out now because we're doing shit. You go, there's hell on behind the club.
You've got to understand that he's like a neutral pundit. He's supposed to be a neutral pundit.
You get caught up in it, though, don't you? I mean, we sat in. I was guilty. I said, if we keep up our current form,
I said,
there's no reason why we can't, because that is what our form at that time was showing. Realistically, when
I thought we were shite then. I said that.
Well, I said 12th.
What did I say? 17th. We're not. Even when we were winning, we were shit. We were poor when we were winning.
When we were winning games, it was lucky goals.
It was lucky goals. It was.
Back
on what he said. Rafa on waiting for takeover news. Hopefully, after the Everton game, we will have a win and some news, and people will be happy.
Say you can't take it. It depends.
Because he's very cryptic in what he says. Anyway.
But it wasn't specifically on the takeover news.
We will have. Well, obviously, the question was to him was like, yeah, takeover happy type of thing. And then his response was that.
Right,
We will have a win, some news.
Dominic Walton sends in, if the takeover doesn't work out, do you think Ashley will invest in January for fear of relegation? I think he'll invest, but it'll be the bare minimum.
You have to cling to that hope because
it's a bare minimum.
Does he want to damage his asset further when apparently there's a gulf in the valuations that are on the table?
Right now, there's a bid on the table for Newcastle United at 250 million, whatever it's supposed to be. If Ashley doesn't invest in January, if the takeover doesn't happen, and we get relegated, the club's just gone. That 250 million is not coming back on the table ever.
It drops down. What did Aston Villa go for? 80 million?
This 250 million now, and the more games we lose, the less the club is worth right now. So Man Stadium's probably sitting there thinking, great.
The thing for me is that
that's 30 million off the price.
Me mate just texted Sigurdsson's done shite all year. Will be unplayable tomorrow. That's funny.
What's the new?
What's the new? Right?
But the thing that's nagging away in the back of my head is, why did they meet up to go for a curry last week?
Why was that guy there? That guy who was like the fucking hobo or whatever? Is his mate or something?
Apparently a mutual friend or something like that.
I listened to the Chronicle podcast today, which actually was really interesting.
Is that the what he calls? Is that like a massive racist one?
He's not a massive racist, but
he's
the editor of...
He supports UKIP, didn't he?
He's the editor of the Express or something, isn't he?
Something to do with UKIP, isn't he?
He's a UKIP funder or something like that.
Mark Douglas was on the day saying about that meeting, the curry meeting. He was like, that's just like, he was like, what is this? Like, why is his crony there? And why is the wives there? And he doesn't like it at all.
Ashley's wife wasn't there, was he?
She was.
No, she came and picked him up.
She was in the restaurant?
She came and picked him up in the Range Rover.
She was dragging him out of the restaurant because she was sat, like, walking out the door.
Dougie said she was there, like.
I thought when I'd seen it
in her fella was there. Well, whatever. Whoever was there. Like, I was pleased they were together, like, don't get us wrong. I was happy that they were meeting because that must mean something happening.
That's it. Are they trying to... Are they just trying to seal the deal, or they're trying to break the ice and move it forward, or what?
This is more advanced. This is more advanced than what
is getting together.
Being leaked to the press, because they're not sat in a boardroom and they're not sat in like a conference or something. They're sat in a restaurant having a fucking chicken tikka masala, man. This is.
But that is the faint glimmer of hope that we're looking at and clinging on to that.
But then you look at Ashley could do fucking anything. He could have a meeting anywhere the fuck he wants.
Do you know what? Going back to the first question was about Ashley putting in. What worries us with him is that he's took gambles before. He's took a gamble this summer. He has took a gamble this summer. He hasn't really put much in.
He has.
And he's the type of person that'll go, fuck you, get on with it. I'm paying you $4 million a year, Rafa. You sort it out. Like he's got that attitude. He
did the same last January.
Exactly. He did that last year. He's got that attitude in him. And
we didn't sign anybody last January at all.
Exactly. And Rafa's come out and says that. I hope the money that we didn't spend in the summer's there. It's fucking not going to be there, man. What Mark Douglas did say today on that podcast is that Danny Ings is done. He was on it at the time when he was talking. He was kind of just ranting on a bit, and he went, anyway, in January, Danny Ings is done. Well, I've got good information that it's quite far ahead. Yeah. So he was almost down the pipe saying that we've got him.
If Danny Ings comes in January, that is 100% Mitrovic is away.
That's gone.
But he came out and said that they've turned down bids from West Ham for him. Not for Ings, for
I think that's just his agent. That there's no way we're going to sell our striker of a relegation rival. Period. We're not going to do it, man.
He'll go abroad.
It's just his agent just trying to get interest.
Mitrovic is an absolute idiot if he stays at Newcastle United. Because it doesn't matter how hard he fights, he is never ever going to play under Rafa Benitez.
He'd only play if Rafa went, isn't he? It's simple as that.
And there's only going to be one winner in there.
Oh God, of course, Bloody hell.
I like him. I don't know whether I can't see him playing a full game.
No.
Ever. He's only played 80 minutes apparently. Period.
And that's why I think like
played a full game.
Does he not start him because he knows he hasn't got the legs for it, the energy for it?
But then you say, why is he bringing him on so late?
That's it. I think he would do a good job for it as an impact sub.
I think. Well,
you've got to give him long enough to do it.
I've said since start seeing.
Bring him on with 30 minutes to go.
I've said I wanted him to
bring him on at 2-1.
But the game he came on,
back into the game.
I can't remember what game it was that he came on. He came on like 20 minutes ago and the game changed. Is that what it was? The game changed massively. I went, maybe Mitrovic is that impact player that we need. Like with 25 minutes to go, bring him on and he's changing the game.
Especially when we get that desperate that we're just hoofing the ball.
That's all we're ever
Bring him the 80th minute. No,
it's shit, man. It's shit. It is shit.
Like we say, the human full-time whistle.
And that one on Saturday was almost just the proof of everything there. 3-2 down, and you bring them on for a minute and a half.
Credit to him, because there would have been a lot of players that are so far up on the arse, they were just sat on the bench and went, nah.
He comes on and he
tries his best, there's no doubt about it. But I think what I will say, and I you know what you said way back on this podcast was, there's players that don't play get a higher opinion, whatever you said. I do think that could be him.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't think he's the answer. I question why he's not even getting an opportunity. Like why is he not getting half an hour at the end of a game when we're losing or whatever it might be? That's a strange one. I can't
because Danny Ings hasn't got
in this
the
trust
legs,
business,
the pace, or
pisses
anything
me
like that.
Right off, this trust issue of we may get sent off, he might never play again. We're still fucking losing every week, man. Yeah. We're still losing anyway.
It's a risk worth taking.
We might win one game and he gets banned for 3. Thanks very much, you got in January anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't get it.
The link that I have liked this week is again a name that doesn't go away is Batshuayi.
No,
I would.
I've been on this fucking bandwagon about Batshuayi for so long. Since he went to Chelsea and he wasn't getting his game, I went, we should be trying to get him on a loan. Because Chelsea will probably loan him out because he needs games. He needs games,
absolute
right?
lightning.
We've been linking with him for last season and a half now? He needs to get out of Chelsea on loan. They're not going to sell him. He needs to get on loan. If they did sell him, we couldn't afford him anyway. Get him out on loan, right? See if he does well at Newcastle United in the next, since like the last 6 months of the season, right? He does well, and see if the takeover does happen, we fucking buy him. He's not getting his game at Chelsea. He's never ever going to get his game at Chelsea because he'll just come in and enjoy it. He scored.
There you are. He's not coming out with it, is he?
Fucking hell.
But that's the thing.
Just
Every time he plays, he scores.
Oh, he didn't? What the fuck? Did he play tonight?
He's a very good player. I've heard Jack Wilshere's the other one that's pretty good. Well, close, if you like.
I don't know.
Oh, he came off the bench.
Not for me.
You
wouldn't have him at all.
Full of shit on you.
Too injury prone. He's an intelligent footballer. He's clever.
I think he'd look very average in our team personally. But what I would say, I think for morale, if he walked in the dressing room, Lascelles and them would be like, Hayden would be.
We said this at the start of the season.
And that's I look for just not what they do on the field, also off. And honestly, I'm at the stage now where I think any person through the door would help the team. And and you know what, I'm contradicting myself because I remember at the start of the season I was so happy with a bunch of lads that
Your mate just texted saying Jack Wilshere.
Oh yes, yeah.
The fuck's going on, yeah?
Is he listening live?
Where is he?
Hello?
Yes, I just no, but that one's been in the pipeline for a while. But it'll be. We've had ones before, haven't we? We've been linked with a player like for literally the whole.
Are you wearing a wire?
That's just me tits.
FBI.
We've had like a player linked with it, or we've been linked with a player for the whole window, and it never happens. Like it's as if it was just a fake rumour all along.
Like Remy.
Fake news.
We should have gotten Remy.
We should have signed him.
Shouldn't we?
Every frigging chance that we had to just put your hand in your pocket, you fat cunt.
Well, I'd heard anyway that. Funny you say that. You know, the last game he played for us, apparently.
That's going to be the title. Put your hand in your pocket, you fat cunt.
He's played terrible, but he scored anyway. That's how good he was. He's played shit and scored. He came
that's a sign of a quality striker.
There was a ball on top of the shelf, and he took his boots off, and he got the ball. And he went, right, all of you sign this because I'm off. I'm not coming back. That's when he got all the players to sign the ball. So we knew then he wasn't going to come. That's what I knew that. So, but anyway, but the second time around in January, I think it was, or whatever it was, we should have.
Well, he went to Palace on loan as well, didn't he?
His career has been a nightmare since then. As we've said many times, a lot of players are the same.
Right.
He was the best striker I'd seen in a long time.
I've got a
dog fell out of his mic.
The things,
like,
that's
I
we're fine.
Look, this is what we're working on. Look, this is how much money we need. We've got a dart hold the Deka's mic up.
Need to sell more badges and hats.
Dart. But I think
where does the money from your merchandise go? Does it go to?
All goes charity.
I don't think everyone's obsessed with the striker. For me,
no. Whoa! I've said we need to strengthen number 10. Yeah. That is for me. That is that position.
I think we need to strengthen as a defensive midfielder.
I would love one.
You could say we need a fucking all new team.
I'd go and get McCarthy. Is it McCarthy from Everton? I'd get him.
Keep banging on about him.
Well, Bartley's normally the one I bang the drum with, but Chelsea are back in now, so I've had that. But that's who I would have. If the takeover had happened, that's who Bartley. Fuck now. Imagine him in our midfield.
But he's not getting his game at Everton.
No, he's not. But Chelsea won him. He's gone.
No, is he not still injured?
No,
he's not getting his game because
did he not put a photo on Twitter?
Rooney's
saying
playing
nearly
it.
there or something, and it was like the score or something down his leg.
Exactly.
That could be on. Right, shall we call it a night?
What night?
It's been quite a how shall we put this podcast?
Heated,
depressing.
It's just tough to take.
it's frustration. It is
Truthful.
frustration.
Let's call it truthful.
I just want to come on next week and just have something nice to talk
Do
about.
it.
If we're going to win them all, it'll all change if we win them all, but who knows?
Who do we play?
That Mike's gone home.
We've got the weekend to get through yet as well.
Who's the weekend?
No, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk
Arsenal
about
away,
Arsenal.
innit?
Right, on that
And that is why tomorrow is important.
Arsenal coming up, man. Right, let's just go home.
Could be 100-0, you know. Could be.
100-0.
Let's go home.
Arsenal then West Ham, innit?
Right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Take your fucking
Positivity.
flags back, Elisa's
Aye,
flag.
take your flags
Take your
back.
flags back.
Take your flags back, man, you tramps.
And support the team. I'm guilty of it as well. I'm going to try and be positive at the match and not shout at Perez. Not shout at stupid Yedlin for
I
trying
think
to
he
play
may
centre
start
half.
actually tomorrow night.
Perez.
Perez. Oh, shit, right. Bye, everyone.
Fucking hell, man. I'm
Love
trying to
you.
be positive here.
Bye.
Ciao.